Hi everyone, welcome back to my precious garden. I hope you're well. It has been raining a bit this morning, so now that the weather's better, I'm gonna show you how the garden looks on this 28th of August. It's still an August garden tour, so let's dive into it. A quick overview of how the garden's doing today. The tree has already brown leaves because of the high temperatures we had. And look at this beauty. We're gonna start with this one. So this is Penelope Lively. It has been a bit quiet during the high temperatures, but now it's looking so good. Look at this bloom. In this garden tour, I want to show you what's blooming, but I'm also gonna talk about the fails that I had in the garden and what positive sides I can find. From the YouTube analytics, I know that most of you watching are not subscribers. You are new viewers, so welcome. So most of you don't know, but in the garden this season, I've been facing powdery mildew and at the same time spider mites. So I had to take yesterday some drastic measures, but the positive side about this is that until now the roses are not too much affected by this. They're still blooming, they're still gorgeous, but the dahlia I need to show you. So here you were supposed to see something beautiful. I have two of the same dahlia called Pineland Princess, and look at this. I had to rip off most of the leaves, and this is not as worse as something on my side yard. I can feel rain, so we'll see if I can finish this tour. So yeah, they really had a bad case of spider mites, and I still can see that this is affected. This is going brown and it should be keeping green. So yeah, I did that, stripping it off, hoping that I could still keep some blooms coming. But if I have to take all the leaves, I will. As you can see, there's some new shoots coming from the base on this one, so there still can be hope. But look at this beauty. It has been a bit munched on, so normally it's a bit larger, but having this case of bad pest damage on the plant, I'm really grateful to have these two blooms. But there's also lots of positive things in the garden. My fig tree is full of figs. I really need to harvest them a lot because otherwise you have the insects and the birds fighting for them too. I have some strawberries, I have the roses, and I'm gonna also show you just now a beautiful flower that I'm gonna sow again next year because it was a really nice discovery. And that's it. This is a peony aster. I think it's called Delicate Pink or something. And look at how beautiful it is. So first, it's a cut and come again. So I've already cut some flowers on them. And better than that, when you put them in a vase, they last for ages. So yesterday I cut some, and it's gonna be a big experiment. So I have the date of the cutting, and I'm gonna see how long they can stay in the vase, but I know it's multiple days from previous cuttings. I'm just gonna see how long exactly, but How beautiful is that? And nearby, if you want a long flowering plant in the back end of the season, you have the coreopsis. They just don't stop. I didn't try to cut them and put them in a vase, but they're really long lasting in the garden, so that's a nice touch of yellow if you like yellow in the garden. Gomphrena is looking great. It has been moved at the beginning of the summer, I believe, and behind it you have a pink vitex that didn't look good at all when I first planted it here. Really, it was struggling, and I think it's doing better, so fingers crossed. There's a lizard behind the dahlia there, and I know you can't see it, but I just wanted to say that these last days I've seen lots of baby lizards in the garden. They're so cute. But one thing you can see is this petunia. I've cut it back a few weeks ago and now it's coming back. And as you can see, I also have digitalis that has come back. It's nicely flowering, so I'll have some more flowers and seeds at the end of the season. I'm having some nice baby Achillea poking through, so it will be interesting next year. Just behind it there's an allium, the Millennium variety. In this area everything is a bit crowded, but there's some sedum about to flower. There's an echinacea, and I love how this looks with the rose Penelope Lively. One thing that made me happy is about this hydrangea. So it turned a nice pink with lighter color on the edge, but look at this. I have a new panicle coming. So I have some spring look there, while I have end of season look there. This escallonia had been cut back after its flowering season, but as you can see it has put on new growth, and look at what is coming here. And around the pond we have a cosmos coming late. This one still fighting. This is a volunteer Celosia. It wasn't the color I bought the previous year. It was pink, but now it's red. And here I have what we called Lys Crapaud. I'm gonna put the English name on the screen. And at first, when I only saw the foliage, I thought, oh yeah, it's another lily, but nope. I forgot I had planted a small piece of this. And here we have a 7 sunflower tree in full bloom. And after that, when the flower will fade away, we'll have the bracts, and the bracts will turn pink. So I might show you that in the next garden tour. Of course I need to show you this, but first, because it's on my way, look at this beauty. So on this one there was another variety coming from the base. I think this one was grafted under the soil level, and so I had some pink fuchsia coming on other stems that I cut back just there, and so now hopefully it will only be this variety. Here I have a Cleomene, not looking its best, but still flowering. I had sunflowers there, but I have this one that just opens, another Allium Millennium, another Cosmos about to come. But what I wanted to show you is not the plumbago, but the crepe myrtle. I have waited so long for this to be able to flower again. I am so proud of it. It looks so nice, don't you think? So it's known, this variety, for having lighter edges, as you can see, and some nice pink. But depending on the blooms, you can have some really bright pink, almost red, and then lighter edges. And so this variety is called Berlingot Monte. So we're gonna print this in our memory before the big rain that is coming tomorrow, like more than 20 millimeters of rain in a day. This is Princess Anne. And I need to cut back this part that has been broken, but this is looking really nice. I'm seeing some signs of spider mites again, but hopefully with all the rain it will get rid of most of the problem for this end of season. At least that's what I'm hoping for. I don't know if you can see the bee. The bees love Gora. I'm gonna show you a better plant. So this is like 1, 2, 3 Goras, maybe more. There's this one that is this nice pink. There's this white with pink buds. And when it's not raining, you have lots of bees and bumblebees everywhere on them. So although the lavenders there are at the end, now the pollinators are having a feast on the Goras. Fun fact, did you know that some aubergines can look like eggs? Yes, they can. Another nice plant to have flowers at the end of the season is Helenium. I'm sorry, I don't know the name of this variety, but you can have a look online. There's not a lot of very different yellow ones. And nearby we have one bloom of Strawberry Hill. In this pot I will have 2 tiny sunflowers. I can see the flower buds, so I'm happy. And behind me, it's difficult, but I'm gonna have another variety of sunflower. They're, I think they're called Vanilla Ice, yeah. And it has been very difficult to sow them, grow them. And look at one that is having even more difficulty. I don't even know if you can see it there. So this is my fig tree in all its glory. I need to pick some figs today. So normally when figs are ready, they tend to fall a bit, and when you touch them they're a bit squishy, so if they're too hard it's not the moment. But that's what I told you about. See, they love getting to the nice ripe figs, so I really need to take some before they eat everything. I need to show you this rose. It's one from David Austin, an old one. It's called Graham Thomas. And look at this beauty. This one has been a bit munched on, but we're gonna focus on the beautiful ones. So I have a few coming, and some new growth and some new flower buds. So it's still not the end of the season for the roses. I don't know if I already told you in a previous video, but this is the last bloom of this lily. It's a variety called Martagon, I believe, and this flowers later than the other usual lilies. So it's a nice thing if you want to have more lily blooming during the season. You can first start with some lilies and then use other varieties that flower later on. Here we have a Verbena bonariensis. Another plant that pollinators like is this one. It's a pond plant. It flowers quite a lot. Lately I had the surprise to discover that I had a watermelon in the garden, and I've just realized that the foliage is now completely dead. So now is going to be the time to harvest this this baby watermelon. Yay! The other kind of aubergines I had is this one. So long ones, these ones are small, but they can get as long as this. And I still see some blooms, so it's not finished yet. The spider mites that didn't only damage the dahlias, because why not? So they're also been horrible on tomatoes. So I left this one because there's still a tomato on it, and I left this one, but as you can see it's all defoliated. The tomato is there, but there was one right here that I cut to the base because it was horrible. I can see a little butterfly in there. Fuchsias had difficulties with a heat wave, but now that the weather's cooling down, they're looking better. I think they had some, I'm not sure if it's spider mite damage or something else, but they were not happy. But as you can see now, they're gonna be much better. A few weeks ago I had cut back all my erigerons that looked so messy, and they're coming back. Since last time I bought this beautiful lavender. It's a compact form called Lavandula angustifolia Anna, supposed to go to 50 by 50 centimeters, so a nice size and a nice blue foliage. Also found this one at, oops, full of rain. I also found this one at Aldi at a so low price that I decided that I will try it. It's supposed to be Rudbeckia fulgida and goes up to 70 centimeters. So I'm not sure it will flower now. It's supposed to flower until October. I'm gonna try it and pot it up because I'm not sure where I want it, and see if I can get some blooms maybe. So this is my other fuchsia that almost didn't flower at all, but now you can see some blooms and you can see some damage. For about this one, I'm quite sure it was spider mites. Before the rain, this was all very, you know, crispy. Crispy was the word I was looking for. So I had taken one stem out, taking some of the diseased leaves out, and I had added some fertilizer in the pot, and we'll see how it's gonna be able to bounce back. But I can see lots of baby flower buds. One thing I wanted to add, there's one thing about you know, spider mites, they like dry weather and such, but also when you buy plants during the season, be really aware, have a look at the foliage. If it looks bad, just don't think it's gonna look better with water and such. Take out all the leaves that looks diseased, damaged, and then give a good drink, maybe fertilize, and that way you won't bring in your garden so much pests. I'm really sure in my case there were some plants that were in that case and that I just left them. So that is not a good idea. Just don't wait. Do what you have to do. The foliage that you take out, just don't compost it. Put it in the dustbin and that's gone. What is this butterfly? I've never seen something like that. It was so quick. I think I saw some pink in it. What is this alien of a butterfly? Wow, it gave me the chills. I hope I can zoom in and maybe see how it looked. It was so quick. I really hope it comes back. Anyway, so here we have an hibiscus. I guess this one would be much happier in the ground, but I wanted something in a pot here, so this is looking much better. So this is a small bougainvillea. It's not supposed to get big, but I'm happy with how it looks, especially with the petunias coming back. They've been cut back too, and now you can see the nice verbena that I chose to go with, but I think some in there got smothered. Look at these. This Salvia amistad wasn't really happy in there all season. Was struggling, getting too dry. So I don't know. This Vitex had difficulties since I left a few days during a heat wave. Of course, in a pot, it's difficult. Buddleia is not doing well in a pot either. I think it's not easy to look after one in a pot if you don't have an irrigation system and a very draining, free draining soil. So very few blooms and small ones. That's my experience. If you have, oh, see, there's some spider mites in there, so they're not helping. If you have a different experience, please share it with me. I'm interested. Here we have a nice white crepe myrtle. Must be looking good with the sun on it. Another nice petunia. And so about spider mites on tomatoes, this is how it looks. I'm leaving this one to have these tomatoes. I don't know the variety, but they were so out of this world in terms of taste. I love them. Too bad I don't know their name. pepper, still producing. Perovskaya, not really happy in a pot, and so this is a dwarf variety, so I'm gonna plant it in the back garden. This was the first one with spider mites, and it seems to be okay now that I'm cutting every signs of spider mite I see, and they taste much better than they did in the beginning of the season. More beautiful petunia, and the salvia is looking good now, and I think these are called Nemesia. And this is a very weird looking one. I know I'm not the only one having this problem this year. Cosmos shouldn't look like this. They should look a bit more like this, but greener. This one had spider mites too. But this one has a very weird growth pattern. This is too chunky. It should be more light and airy, and it doesn't look this way. So this one I won't try even to let it go to seed, but it does flower, so you know. Here we have a nice geranium and white petunias. My beautiful heliotrope that I manage to smell sometimes. For people with a nice sense of smell, it smells like vanilla, so do try heliotrope if you like this scent. And this is how my front garden looks at this time. So my poor crabapple is full of spider mites too. Spider mite damage on the leaves of a crabapple. Looks like this, horrible. But it still has fruit, it's still doing its best, so yeah. This Rose Jazz Festival is looking really nice. I have a few blooms on it. And nearby we have Isabelle Autissier. I took a few blooms before the rain to make a nice bouquet inside. This is just a sign of something I did yesterday and I didn't see this stem. I've cut back the star jasmine behind there. It was up to there and very not nicely looking, so now it looks more like it should. I've left a few long stems because I can see flower buds on them. The other ones with flower buds, I made an experiment. I made a bouquet, and we'll see if I can make them flower inside. The oleander has a few blooms. I also took lots of nice blooms of Lady of Shalott. They're looking fabulous inside. I'll show you a photo. This one didn't have bloom. This one is Silas Marner. It's a huge one. I can see some spider mites damage on there. See, this is not looking how it should. And this either. And here we have my monster tomato. It's a variety called Trilly. Very, very productive. It's a grafted one, so it shouldn't look as huge normally. And this was full of green. Well, starting to look diseased. So I took most of this out to give some airflow, because diseased leaves plus rain, not a good mix. So now the air can go in there and the plant can still focus on producing the rest of the tomatoes, and it's gonna be great. Did the same with this tomato. I have the only one that is looking almost ready, that is being munched upon, but I decided to leave it so the animals can focus on this one and leave the other ones alone, hopefully, because I have quite a few coming, as you can see, and hopefully they didn't find this one yet. It's not ready, but almost. And that's it. Yeah, I have a few golden raspberries there, so let's see. This one. What do we have? No, been munched on. This one maybe. Yeah. This one is ready. This one too. And this one. Yesterday I also took out the Salvia viridis that was there and that was looking dead. So now there's more room around my beautiful Eustacia vi. And there's also more room for this Verbena Bampton. That is looking nice now that it has its own space. And this pot is looking nice too. I took out most of the, I think it was a yellow Bidens in there because I didn't like this hue of yellow there. Didn't look good with the rest, so now it's looking good. This dahlia hopefully is gonna keep being okay. This one has been stripped down too. And oh, this poor one, it was awful. A mix of powdery mildew and spider mite, so yeah. And yesterday I also took out some foliage. The courgette has had powdery mildew, and the tomatoes there, the foliage was looking awful, and mosquitoes loved to hide under there, so took them out. So now any insect can have a look for mosquitoes. This is called Purple Hyacinth Vine. It's doing fine, but it's still not flowering yet. I still have high hopes. And nearby we have my Ipomea going wild. It's a bit too late during the day to see nice blooms, but you can see the shade. And on this side the wisteria is trying to push on new flowers. I've seen some the other day. Where are they? But also I wanted to show you, here I'm trying to grow with a dahlia and a cobia. It's growing fine. Not sure I'm gonna see flowers, but one nice thing to know, they can hang themselves to something, to a fence or a wall. See? So that's a nice thing. Yeah, here you can see some flowers on the wisteria coming. So we'll see if I get a nice end of the season show on it. You can see flower buds coming. Is it this butterfly? No, this one is a more yellow one. It is beautiful too. And it's gone. I hope you can see in the background. It's not there yet, but it's about to flower. These are Japanese anemones. And I think I'm gonna end this video on this beautiful view. I hope you have a nice day and that you have time and energy to spend in the garden. See you in the next one. Bye!